afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda, of your riveting and amazing 1 vs 1 on Novgorod Outskirts. Yes, the wintry, not quite wild, but certainly a bit wild Novgorod Outskirts in the south. It is Artoria, Pendragon fighting for the German army, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 3rd Panzer Division. In the north, it is Old Mate fighting for the Red Army, the Soviet Union, and the 25th Guards Mechanized Brigade, here with defensive tactics, featuring light anti-tank guns, heavy mortars, advanced fortifications, the heavy machine gun team, and anti-tank all-watch with double mine and machine gun bullets there for extra suppression, versus mechanized assault, lightning war, German infantry with triple infantry, and we got Grenadiers MG42 there for Artoria. Double conscripts there, start there for Old Mate. Likely going to be seeing maybe a special rifle command or something else, as he's likely going to be using the Doctrine here basically to, well, make up for the supporting company. Slightly less big anti-tank guns, but then bigger machine guns and bigger mortars effectively. Plus, you can lay down extra mines. Of course, you get access to the very powerful anti-tank Overwatch. Meanwhile, the Artoria Pendragon sets out for the glory of Deutschland, das Vaterland, spreading out rapidly, as Old Mate does the same for the Soviet peoples, the motherland. MG42 in the centre here, conscript ground northern point here. Note no sandbags yet here for Old Mate. Note by both sides, folks on the eastern side. Also been interesting to see the northern player go east. Normally the northern player tends to go westwards here, but Old Mate, kicking traditions aside, goes east. MG4 ready to even then conscript advancing. There we go. MG42 blazing away there, and forces away Old Mate's frontalix there with some good bursts of MG42 that they do get suppressed. Should have taken a slightly more direct path away, then gone to the side there, I think. By the way, they do get past. Need to get some troops at support there. The machine gun should be positioned here before it gets possibly flanked. Got more troops in there. Old Mate decides he does want to clear out that machine gun fast before the fascist does fascist-like things with it. Comes to that being suppressed. Conscript on the other side. Good move there for Old Mate. This is probably also why I kept the conscript there. Basically a spade to draw in the greed of Artoria and force them, and you catch them off guard with that one. So thumbs up there. It seems to win the conscript flank to the south. We've got Grenadiers moving to support here. Still the pressure's on. The machine gun is taking a lot of damage, and Old Mate is intent on focusing down here as fast as possible here. No Molotovs can still do a bunch of damage to the MG42. In fact, got down to less than half health here. Down to just 2 men, and there you go, forcing Artoria's MG42 to retreat here. More troops around. Got 4 conscripts out there for Old Mate. Artoria has yet to call in additional units. Is in a fast tier 2 rush here, snipers, or is this just forgotten due to the sheer pressure from the conscripts here against Artoria? Hard to say, but there you go. More Grenadiers for Artoria, and the 3rd Panzer Division comes to the forced retreat. Here, conscript might have to fall back in the face of the Grenadiers soon enough. Southeast here, we got engineers laying down mines. Very aggressive here. Thumbs up to Old Mate, though he will likely risk losing the eastern fuel point. Of course, he can just grab the west side now here. Swift advance here for Artoria and the German army. 3rd Grenadier Squad almost done there for Artoria. With a bit of maneuvering here and there. Grenadiers grabbing the eastern fuel point. Engineers holding up here, trying to tie down Artoria's infantry as long as possible in the centre here, going for the west side here. Back here, reinforcement, and we got medics on the way there for Old Mate and the Red Army. Here, the engineers are forced to retreat in the face of the Grenadiers. The counter-anti-case ringing out sharp barks of death with a bullet. Sandbags going up in the centre. Good work. More points, these being seized. There you go, feeling firmly down there for Old Mate. Ready to provide healing for those who deserve it. Grenadiers taking on a hit there from the conscript, down just 3 men. Slowly approaching half health up north, each troops reinforcing healing. And there you go, Grenadiers flanking through the church here, could outmaneuver the conscripts, but Old Mate is faster than this and quickly backs off with the conscripts rather than trying to find engagement. He could likely end up quickly losing them. Grenadiers holding up here in the east. A swift advance is happening here for the Germans. Well, swift and swift, but relatively swift. Continuing towards the car point, defending against a possible incursion by Artoria, and Artoria in fact looks like it's setting up exactly that, though with only 1 Grenadier squad. It's not going to be the biggest incursion ever. Centre seized here, but then before 2 once more. No sign of Doctrine there yet for Artoria. Old Mate, still some time before them use anything of the Doctrine, though most of it unlocks on 2 command points. It's only really anti-tank or what it unlocks at 12. Artoria there has taken up. Could go for some Panzer Grenadier now. That'd be, I think, quite effective versus a conscript heavy build. Or he could, of course, take up the light to make a nice company. Looks like that's exactly what he's doing. His pioneers rushing back to headquarters with orders to set up that light to make a nice company. Engineers charging the Grenadiers to take damage out in the open. No conscript about to merge with them. Also, a lot of surplus increasingly do. They just merge their conscripts with engineers and then just keep fighting. But Old Mate does not. He, again, kicks tradition to the side and leaves it to die in a ditch somewhere north of Magnitogorsk. MG42 position, grenades moving in to cover up the MG42 in this reposition. Like to make a nice company at the Artoria Pendragon. Blazing at the conscripts there, the engineers come from northwards. There we go, we actually do get a merge there, so apparently there is some tradition that's being held by Old Mate. There go, engineers go down, nonetheless too slow there. Flame for a drop, but Old Mate's conscript quick to pick it up there, prying it from the dead hands of Petrov to ensure they can burn some fascists still. And there you go, calling in the DSK machine gun team immediately to respond to the Grenadiers and the machine gun. Very strong push there, of course, by Old Mate with that one. We might be seeing some more support weapons there. Obviously, Armored Car for Artoria will probably force an anti-tank gun here from Old Mate to counter that, unless he wants to get lucky with the Hay machine gun. Replacement gears to replace the ones lost. Of course, not told what happened to the previous chaps. Oh, they got lost. Yes, in the great big woods. They got lost, and yes, we don't know where they are, but they're not dead. Got these some pointy hit a mine though. Poor Jürgen has his feet blown off. The armored column is done. Artoria is yet to go for Doctrine. It could be German infantry. Will certainly not be a miss. Could of course also be lightning war or mechanized assault. There we go. Another M4 to deal with all the infantry. There we go. Merchie again. By the looks of it, thumbs up there to Old Mate. He's actually starting to use consistently. And there you go. Flanking with a flanker. Good maneuver there by Old Mate and the Red Army, the 25th Mechanized Corps. There you go, machine gun there, about to get wiped out. 25th Guards Mechanized Brigade, actually, my mistake there. There you go, machine gun wiped, but within reach of the Grenadiers, he should use the low health one to do it. So you can retreat that one and reinforce it up. Conscripts advancing, conscripts what they're falling back, deciding not to merge this time around. Engineers has yet to take up anything there for Old Mate, probably should consider doing that soonish. And back here in Artoria's base, we got the second infantry ready. No sign of Panzer Grenadier yet here. I'm a kind engaging, there we go. Do get the M42, 45 mm taking out the Old Mate, ready to punch some holes into the fascist vehicles and occasionally tanks if they get close enough. Hold go up the east there. In the west, Grenadiers slowly advancing in the centre. The 2-2 watches over any possible communist approach there. Also, quick reminder to always just comment, like, subscribe, and share. Press that bell button. Forgot about that early on. My apologies. Gotta kind of do that because of the YouTube algorithms. Anyways, and use constantly in there. Also, big thanks to my Patreon supporters. That was just, to thank them. They're really great guys. And gals, I suppose. MG4 holding up here, not MG42, but the Dishka 38, a Soviet Hay machine gun, which actually saw service after the war as well. In fact, might still see service here and there. In fact, it was technically replaced with another sort of 50 cal machine gun by the Soviet and later Russian army. I'm coming about here. Dodge it, but there we go. Does not dodge the M42. Landing great hit, but at the same time, what's going on? Artoria makes a sweeping move there towards the western fuel pole. Now with the MG42 backing up, thumbs up there. At the same time, a sharp flank on the other side of Old Mate leaves him caught in a bit of a small vice. The MG42 in the center, right? That's the Discus center right to deal with that. Gets caught in the MG42's burst of fire and forced retreat here. Not great for Old Mate, who's yet to take up. He is actually losing ground across the entire front here now to Artoria. We got MG4 doing flank with the conscripts. Nice counter push there by Old Mate, showing the fascists that Old Mate still's got it. Conscripts pursuing the Grenadiers there. No flamethrowers and engineers, no minesweepers either. Grenadiers being bled out. We got 8 kills in these frontovics. These frontline veterans. Back here troops not reinforcing as of yet. Nothing going on the Artoria's base. No Panzer Grenadiers still. Falling back to the conscripts on the west side here. We got conscripts back the MG42. And Westfield they could be reclaimed here by Old Mate anytime soon. Back and forth action continues. There you go, going for the car punt, denying Artoria presses fuel, forcing a response there with the armored car. We got more Grenadiers to replace the ones lost. Good wipe there by Old Mate, of course. Still think should go for Panzer Grenadier squad. Again, great versus conscript build, and just generally great in general. So you kind of want some Panzer Grenadiers eventually, I feel like. Engineers white, of course, maybe planning lightning war with G for the future. We can sort of make up for it, but even though you kind of want them. But again, so far, no sign of a Doctrine here for Artoria Pendragon and the 3rd Panzer Division. We got engineers on late for Old Mate. Another engineer squad. The previous one got killed again. So, what happened to the previous two? Ah, they got lost in the forests. You keep losing guys in the forest, don't you? Well, bad maps. Bad maps, yeah. Made by counter-revolutionary Trotskyites. Yeah. Bad people. Troops reinforcing healing. And we got a pack falling over for Artoria. Obviously expecting a T-70 anytime soon. But Old Mate has yet to take up at all. James being caught here by the discus soon enough, and there you go, forced to retreat, Pack 40 halfway done, armored car need repairs, and there you go, Pioneers looking to fix it. Take care of the worst damage, then even 42 operates a bit too aggressive, I feel like, on its own there. And they're going 42 moving up, switching over to the high explosive rounds. I believe they actually fired the canister rounds, fragmentation rounds. Well, that is obviously a minor detail. Oh, this is canister rounds here. Yeah. Oh, well, there's sort of 5 different rounds there. I believe the Search are actually quite keen on fragmentation rounds. Well, I think some of the German sort of lighter weapons also had access to fragmentation rounds. Little fun fact there. Pack 40 about here, nothing further going on the base of Artoria. And high explosive canister. Not entirely sure what that means. But anyways, Gunners being assaulted by 2 constables being in there aggressively here under Old Mate's command, ready to fling back those fascists towards Berlin and then burn Berlin. Gunners are doing what they can with light machine guns. I think that locks out definitely German infantry. Lightning bolts looks less likely, so it could be German infantry or mechanized assault here from Artoria, though of course it still could be on the 2. Constantly going for the deep flank here. Nice maneuver there by Old Mate. Disrupt Artoria's front line there with some swift maneuvers. There you go, anti-tank and punching holes in the armored car. A lot of action here, a lot of threats, a lot of maneuvering up north here. Troops are trying to move. There you go, armored car down. A small blow there to Artoria, Pendragon, and the German army is actually taking up here already. Moving for tier 3. Great work. Meanwhile, Old Mate has yet to build any sort of structure, and yes, this is like push any kind of tech. But they're actually getting good control of the map. Meanwhile, though, I definitely think should consider taking up soon. Dishka hammering away in the center. We got 5 kills on it. Slowly approaching veterans you want. Fight for the fuel point here. Constables lone help versus the Pioneers up close. Pioneers should actually have a decent chance here unless he keeps moving about there. So they don't actually get to shoot him there. Go front of X routed. And he's going for deep flank here actually. Bolt by Artoria Pendragon. But his decisive leadership does send the Search to fall back in the center. Troops reinforcing healing. Tech down there for Artoria. Still no sign of a Doctrine. No sign of a greater game plan there from the Germans. Going for the cop on there. Looking to disrupt the fuel flow of Old Mate. But I think they might actually need to grab the center victory point as well. As I do believe, if you sort of look at here, it actually acts as a connector. So he needs to grab the victory point as well. Some maps have this where, while there is a carve point, you can also circumvent it a bit with the center victory point. Or any other victory point. But typically it tends to be the center victory point that does allow this. For example, you have something similar on Langolaskaya. So, little fun fact there. In terms of maps, and there you go, Mortar for Artoria Pendragon and the German army, the Granatenwerfer. And there you go, Gunners being pursued as we got a large reinforcement from Old Mate, obviously intending on stopping this nonsense here from Artoria and his band of fascists. Finally got taken up there, we got the Special Rifle Command up for Old Mate and the Red Army. We're probably seeing the Tank Chain Command next. Definitely should get moving fast here, and there you go, Gunners routed by the conscripts, and they also get moving very fast. Center being held up here, but the Gunners MG42 east side here. Could see some mines being laid down, and we do get some S-mines out there from Artoria. Very good. Sprengminen or bouncing mines. Basically, you triggered it, it bounce up, and you know, fire shrapnel into your softer bits. Very nasty stuff. M2 the conscripts. Moving into test the point of the Pioneers on the west side of M2 up the counter there, but it is on its own there. No infantry screen nearby, not much support either. There's some more technical units could be rushed out, but even then it's a bit exposed, I think. And there you go. Artoria realised we can move back the machine gun, mortar firing down the conscripts, getting first kill there for the mortar. Nice work there, getting some the advancing conscripts. They do get this heavy cover that's going to force the mortar to fall back here. They're going to now for 34, which is a fun note. Was actually initially sort of thought of as a heavy mortar by the Germans, but as heavier mortars came into the German arsenal, it was basically considered more like just a regular mortar. Fun fact. Meanwhile, take up their full bit, got the Tank Chain Command up. Artoria connected begin to build the support core and soon push on Ostman here versus Old Bit, which would be pretty powerful, of course. Could also just go for more standard Panzer IV, but an Ostman right now I think would be incredibly powerful versus Old Mate and the Red Army. I don't think Old Mate would be quite prepared for the ill wind that is the Ostwind. Pack setting up the M42 going points there, got the M42 blazing away there, could have popped into the armpit to increase chance of getting maybe a wipe there, but still more troops coming in here for Old Mate. Another assault being launched, assembling in the ravine, but they're going to soon come and find the M42 there. Got a new rather bypassing the arc of fire there. Nice push there as the other troops hold up in the just again the ravine or massive ditch or whatever. Gunners bringing support back here. We got more Pioneers on the way there for Artoria, probably to keep the other ones on the front line and then build up with the other squad. Mechanized armor company up there for Old Mate. Begin pushing for T-34 from 6 versus Artoria. Very good. Artoria has yet to go for Doctrine. We're soon approaching the 20-minute mark, which is the sort of general rule of thumb, in my personal opinion, where you like absolutely have to have a Doctrine, because otherwise you're not really fooling anyone to a degree there, but also you're just losing out on so much opportunity with a lot of the Doctrines, because even like you want to go for the tank, the big ones at the end, there's still so much other than the Doctrine that is pretty good in supporting your earlier game as well. But there goes the Polymer Cut for Artoria. By this point, it's either the Mechanized Assault or it's Lightning Roll, because Artoria definitely wants to get a Tiger tank out at some point, and that's also going to be ultimately included in there to Old Mate anyways. So it's not like, you know, just by waiting this long and somehow, you know, hiding the fact you're going to go for a Tiger from them. I mean, in most cases, they're just going to figure, like, the absence of anything else is just going to mean, oh, he's going for the big tank. I mean, maybe not right away, but, you know, eventually it's going to happen. So they're going to, like, have at least some degree of knowledge from that anyways. And these have got into the conscript there, and before 2 backing up there with the heavier burst there. In the west side, we got the conscript there. Already Grenadiers, they're taking a beating there from Old Mate's men, who suffer no fascist to tread on their snow. Yes, comrades, it is our snow, the snow of the proletariat. It's just snow, Yuri. Shut up, Boris. I want to sound cool from time to time. I want to sound political. There he goes again. Just ignore him. Panther on the way for Artoria. We got the T-34 over for Old Mate. He may need some anti-tank guns. We'll obviously call in more light anti-tank guns. Grabbing points up here, trying to outmaneuver Tron's flank, but Artoria is already dispatching Grenadiers to clear up that little kerfluffle. Unfortunately, with the conscript there, T-34 and 6 almost done. Again, so it's the Panther 4 there, more firing down the conscripts, causing more damage. We've got actually still only 1 kill on it. And there you go, Panic from flank by the conscript, and then Old Mate's fuel is once more cut off, once more disrupted by the fascists. And there you go, conscript taking man loss from the Grenadiers, forced retreat, and there you go. Tanks actually more or less, I think, arrive at the same time here for both sides. Fun timing there. 17 minutes and roughly 10 seconds. That is 2 mediums on the field, but obviously the Panther 4 does slightly outpace the T-34-76, at least by 1944-45. The T-34-76 was starting to sort of show a bit off of age, partly due to the gun not being that impressive, and also the armor starting to hit its limitations, plus minor technical details. And we'll, at this point, was effectively more used as a reconnaissance tank, with the T-35 sort of taking over the role of their mainline tank, but it was taking some time to ramp up enough production of those. Default the D on the flank here. Ooh, if he turned around the main hull, they could actually possibly go in the weapon machine. You might still get it, but you definitely want like to hold the machine gun to fight infantry to get kills in, because it does a lot of damage. Modifying down the machine gun and staying holding back. No mortar yet from Old Mate. Bit of a surprise there actually. Heavy mortar I think would be quite good versus Artoria, who's going here for another Pack 40 flamethrower drop. Eastern point makes use of Old Mate in the Red Army. More mortar fire from the Granatenwerfer. Back here, Troops reinforcing healing. Could be again a sign he might be trying to stall out already now here for some heavier armor. Despite I think that he's just pushed for more medium armor now. Maybe like an Osman could be under consideration. But there goes sneak up, avoiding the main minefield there. Good work by Old Mate. Panther almost good to go here for Artoria, Pendragon, and the German army. Back here, Troops reinforcing healing, and there you go. Pioneers rushing in to defend. We got Grenadiers backing up there with the LMG-42 in the centre here. Mortar fire raining down. Telemites here from Artoria, very good. The Telemina. Conscripts laying down sandbags. Another T-34 from 6 for Old Mate and the Red Army. Just holding up here, and the T-34 from 6 holding out. They're crossing the ravine or massive ditch. Mortar fire raining down. The east here we got conscripts back the Grenadiers. He's trying to push them back, but alas, they're the ones being pushed back into hell. Another strike is Old Mate and the Troy Pendragon. Raslo control the cup on there, the fuel flow. And there you go. Panther 4 Ryan Pack 40 joining in. The T-54 taking significant hits here from the fascist tanks and anti-tank guns. The second T-54 is almost down there for Old Mate. Could put more pressure on Artoria right away. In particular, Artoria is planning to go for a Tiger tank here. That could definitely mean a lot of T-54s could put some serious pressure on Artoria Pendragon. In particular, supported by heavy mortar, just like hammer the packs and just smoke them out. But right now, the fight continues at the carve point. Neither side letting go, neither side giving up. They fight to the bitter end. It is all or nothing. Second T for the looks like it's going to hit the right flank, maybe hit some exposed units there, and cause Artoria some harm and some confusion. They'll need to be careful not to deep dive the T-Fit Force season too deep and get it lost and destroyed. I mean, there's only so many things that can get lost in the woods. Comes behind the fire from the MG42. 10 kills. Nice work there. But not a lot of incendiary armor piercing round uses there. We got more pioneers for Artoria. And there we go. Lightning Warp. Primarily, I imagine it's going to be used for the Tiger tank. That we might see some air support. I doubt we'll be seeing tactical movement, unfortunately, or relief infantry. Both I think have good abilities. The relief infantry is more like, you know, in a pinch, we're like desperately need infantry. And again, early G550 I think put a more of a dent there to Old Mate's conscripts. Worth noting, Old Mate has, well, upgraded some of the conscripts, but not all. And we do get a mortar partner here for Old Mate, the HM38 120mm mortar, which is a fun fact, was straight up copied by the Germans when they sort of encountered it and basically grabbed a bunch back. They just straight up copied the design from top to scratch and just used it like that. They didn't try to modify it, from my understanding. So, little fun fact there. And actually quickly be, you know, pushed out throughout the German army and used there. In some cases replacing light infantry guns, actually. T-Fit floating on the west side here, 6 kills, close to veterans you want. Guns with Guineas, then Guineas. Definitely not kitted up for dealing with Guineas to the Minesweeper. While the theoretically, of course, could make it look like a machine gun with the right angle, using, you know, good photography and all that, it's not really going to help, you know, against an actual machine gun now. He's rather almost wiped out. T-Fit 4 there under fire from the Pack 40. The Pack 40 keeps missing. T-Fit 4, meanwhile, is not, and he's tearing through here. Artoria's infantry in the center. We got another push between holding back by the Panther 4 and the machine plus the mortar here. Of course, laying down more mortar fire here against Old Mate positions. Shots going back and forth. Men dying in the snow and on the dirt roads as others rock past them as they continue the attack here. Heavy mortar fire there, forcing Artoria's position in the center to crumble here and fall back as Old Mate continues the attack. The assault refuses to stop. Old Mate is all in, it would seem almost all in, as Artoria is in fact completely battling under the ferocity of Old Mate. Choosing back in these as well as realizes the right flank is actually now severely exposed. He falls back to, I think, more defensive position. Also minimize the possibility of handing over Pack 40 to Old Mate. It's a good move there by Pendragon. Good foresight there. Thumbs up. You don't want to risk your troops getting surrounded, though there's still the Gunners squad up here, which I think you might have forgotten, which is definitely not great there. We do have more telemines here from Artoria in there as well. Very good. The Artoria is definitely stalling out here for Tiger Tank. It's going to take some time now that he's lost his fuel points. The cutoff. Those trying for the western fuel point there is open. It's now moving eastwards. T for the moving in. Oh, hits a telemine. Hits a telemine. Can Artoria realize this and actually punish this? Or will Old Mate be able to pull back the T-34 from 6 for some much needed repairs? Panther 4 that's going in is going to make the attempt. It's going to make the attempt. Con's coming in to deal with it. But no, Artoria backs off. Perhaps sensing it might be a possible trap being set up here by Old Mate. Panther 4 shoots, misses. We got 7 kills on it so far. Bit more shooting there. The west side port's being harassed and cut off. Artoria is roughly at the current pace of income 3 minutes away from a Tiger tank. Roughly, it's obviously going to be a bit faster once it gets the car pond back in the fuel pond there at least, but it's still going to take a bit longer to get out T-34s or Tiger tank. Meanwhile, Old Mate is just churning out more T-34s from 6s, where one works, even more will work better. T-34 there with 1 kill, the other one with 8 kills, close to veterans you want. Heavy fire on the west side. We got the Pioneers on their own as they come squat with a flamethrower, but we got the Panther 4 the rushing in. Note that Artoria's yet to upgrade the Pinlock machine gun. It's a bit of an oversight there in my opinion. Bit of an oversight. You really do want that machine gun for some extra added anti-infantry punch. Counter the Canadians, we got all of them for totally back here. Mortar fire raining down, quickly exploding Dyatlov as this mortar round goes off near him. Panther falling back here. Nothing further going on there for Artoria again. All effort is now being second to the arrival of the target tank. T-Fed force from 6 there, hanging about, ready to deflect any attacks there. Also moving up slowly on the east side here, really setting up to defending Artoria with some greater maneuvers. Of course, Artoria can easily defend back then with a target tank, though not entirely for free, as we do have the anti-tank Overwatch, and of course the T-Fed force can ram, and if they do set up a successful ram on the target tank, then anti-tank Overwatch could actually take it out, in particular when the ramming actually immobilizes it. It's a bit of a rare thing, but occasionally a T-Fed force ramming a tank can actually immobilize the tank in question. I actually won on that once. Then you see that getting off of Panther the T-Fed force from 6, leaving it with the damage. You see we've got to push as we're going half on there in the center of the assault is stalling out as the MG42 saws its way through Old Mate's infantry, leaving nary a survivor. And there you go. Target tank is ready for Artoria, Pendragon, and the 3rd Panzer Division. Engineers being shredded by the MG42 as well. Target tanks arrived here for the German army. West side, Pack 40s punching away at the T-Fed force from 6, knocking out. A blazing inferno envelops the crew as the world is snuffed out in the blink of an eye. Engineers falling back. T-Fed force 6 holding up. At east side, we got a bit of maneuver with the engineers. And the T-Fed Tiger tank here moves out for Artoria, Pendragon, and the German army. Deutschland über alles. Pack 40 pursued by the T-Fed force from 6. Target tank swinging in here with its 88mm gun. Adapted from the Flak 88, I believe. And there you go. Good hit on the T-Fed force from 6. Should, of course, add a pinlock machine for added anti-infantry. Needs to be careful not to extend the target tank. I mean, at this point, he should have a good idea he's up against defensive, which means anti-tank Overwatch, of course. It is still a rare doctrine, so there's a possibility that the Troy Pendragon is not quite aware of the composition, or the fact it has anti-tank Overwatch. He may have just forgotten. That can occasionally happen, in particular it's a rare doctrine. You may not be quite sure on all the particulars. And that's something that arguably does work in the favour of defensive. Target tank up in the centre, Pack 4 as well. The Pioneers moving in. Very good there. A swift advance here. Back hitch up reinforcing healing. Anti-tank there reinforcing healing. Heavy mortar ready more or less to go there. 5 kills so far. Now, they actually did have a heavier mortar in the 160mm mortar, which actually had to be breech loaded rather than typically just pop a mortar round in from the top. Little fun fact there. Telemark again from Artoria. Very good. In this case, less good because they didn't actually see it. Hey, what are you doing? Planting apple seeds, yeah? Oh, okay, carry on. Yuri, they're laying down mines. No, they said apple seeds. They want to make apple trees on the road. Well, I didn't want to question their sensibility in, you know, planting trees. You idiot, it's a mine. There, see, it exploded. Apples don't explode. Unless they're from Chernobyl. In which case they may explode. Going for the carp on the MG42 target team setting up there for Artoria. Need to hit the pinlock machine gun. Sandbags up here. May of course want to replace that T-Fed 4, of course also going for an HUD5 to deal with the target tank a bit better, so it doesn't rely on solely on anti-tank Overwatch. It does feel like he's doing it at the moment, just like a light anti-tank and 2 T-Fed 4 from 6. It does feel to an extent he's very much putting all on anti-tank Overwatch then in hopes of dealing with the target tank, so if that fails, old mate could be in what you'd call in a pretty bad place. Machine in a bit of trouble. Target tank adding a machine gun, halfway done. Done his wing at the center thing before 2. West side here we got Pioneers moving up, laying down S-mines first before grounding the point. Sneaky there, sneaky. East side they're secured here by Pendragon, the German army. Both sides lining up there for a big push. We got the Katyusha rocket launcher with Volmate, which may hold him back a bit. He could rush ahead, but why rush ahead when you're just clearly waiting up for the Katyusha? But he does need to at some point make a big push here. Could even use like smokescreen to further make it easy for the attack to go through versus Artoria, and of course disrupt Artoria's defense. We got S-mines continue to go up here by the western victory point. Big S-mine fill there from Artoria. We got 378 versus 358 in east here. Panther 4 holding up as well. Might be planning to go for a deep dive here, but we can already see old mate is seeing through this. He's laying down mines in such an eventuality. So 2 thumbs up. The old mate has the foresight, has the wisdom to prepare for a flank assault by the fascists. And obviously, while most players would never do this, it's always safe to assume at some point you may want to go up, and it's those chaps you want to like prepare for and sort of train against. So 2 thumbs up to me on that one. And the center of the assault commences. Guns blazing, men screaming, then retreating. Defense are hosting away. They're going to be taking losses. Oh dear, forced to retreat here. More mortar being exchanged here. He could theoretically try with counter barrage. So he doesn't have to manage that so much. In the west, Pioneer's riding for the conscript. 2 squads there. Could see wipe here on Artoria. And there you go. Pioneer's squad wiped out. A quick replace the ones lost. Of course, still has the S-Mines there in the center. Old mates look like he might be lining up for a more proper push here, though. Definitely needs to be some speed and some effort into it. Pack 40 on the flank here. T-54 quickly falling back as the Pack 40 gets in position and punches in the hole in the T-54's armor. S-Mine field off killing several conscripts there, exploding and tearing through them. Conscript engaged here with the target tank on the center. Got T-54 ramming the target tank. There we go. We got anti-tank overwatch here by old mate on the target tank. Other T-54 bringing anti-tanks opening up as well there. And there we go. Just finding the Katyusha firing done as well here, causing heavy damage as more artillery strike just rains down. Conscript charging in target tank down to less than half health. A devastating strike, debilitating, and the Tiger vanishes under a rain of artillery. T-54 abandoned, or not abandoned, but it's utterly static. A huge blow there to Artoria, Pendragon, and the German army. Panther 4 sneaks in, gets the T-54 from 6, takes hits from the anti-tank overwatch, at least it's under 5 from it. Anti-tank getting hit there as well. Could just losing the Panther 4 one. There you go. Hits going in there. Close to 52, but may not actually get there. In the center, Artoria's line is gone. There's like Morton, a Pack 40 is trying to destroy the machine, and meanwhile the T-54 oh, he's actually destroying that, or trying to destroy that. Mortar cleared out, not great there. Needs to get his troops back in action. Again, Pendragon is doing great. Mortar wiped out. Pack 40 about to get wiped as well by Old Mate. Really devastating hit. He just losing the Tiger tank after basically sinking all of his eggs into that particular basket. Has left Artoria really vulnerable, and certainly highlights again the danger just like trying to rely too much on heavy tanks without sufficient medium armor to work with it. So thumbs up to Old Mate there for a good assault. Still, he's got a lot of gunnage, light machines doing a lot of damage. Can't prevent the T-54 from using the repair. They're going to use being shredded, wiped out. In fact, the crew just sort of sitting in the side going, I hope everyone outside is safe. That is, you know, not the Germans, but, you know, our guys. I think they're dead. Oh, yes. I can hear the screams as their flamethrower tank burst. Oh, that's bad. Yes. Do you think they'll make it back home? Yet. They're very dead. Constant party retreating here, fixing up the car point, Panther repairs. We'll obviously see what Artoria does next. We'll try and stall for the Tiger tank again. It certainly looks like pretty ambitious, pretty bold. Perhaps I think a bit too risky there personally. Calling your anti-tank overwatch here, or anti-tank overwatch, but let's do a close air support. Luftwaffe strafes in there with their Kanonenvogel, or cannon birds. Equipped with a pair of 13 guns under the wings. T-54 there, of course, still abandoned. Machine gun blazing well. Pack 40 gets a good hit. It's under fire there from the heavy assault mortar. 7 kills on that one. Veterans 1. There you go. T-54 and 6 knocked out. Artoria is very close to the Tiger tank. I might actually have called in once the cooldown. Actually, the resource might just align with the cooldown wearing off almost. Pack 4 and the west being grabbed here though by Old Mate. Very good there. Get you ready. 2 kills. Going to open up here in the center where the machine gun is, I imagine. Yep. Rockets screaming through the skies there. Snow and trees exploding also like some machine gun crew members. And possibly a few squirrels. Panther 4, they're almost good to go here for Artoria once more. Still no pin up machine gun. Very close to that Tiger tank. Very close. Almost has the fuel. In fact, has the fuel now. And the countdown is not far off either. Only thing now I'm missing is actually, I think, more or less the manpower there for Artoria. And that's even not far off either. So there you go. A few seconds more. And Artoria Pendragon calling a second Tiger tank here from the nearby 101st Schwerer Panzerabteilung. Deal here with Old Mate, at least attempt to. Constantly moving up here. Engaging the Grenadiers. Driving it off in the midst. Tiger tank moving in. Panther 4 could also support here. Plus 52. Tiger advances. Still a machine gun for these tanks. There you go. Tiger tank advances through the train. There you go. Decent at the conscripts. The Russian or the Serbs running fear in the face of the mighty Tiger. And Panther 4 moving in. Taking us from the light into tank gun. Plus 1 there. Gunners moving up the center. Mines being laid down here by Mr. Old Mate. Very good. Makes it again harder here for Artoria to pull off an assault. Tiger tank slowly moving up. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. Needs to get moving. Schnell. Los geht's. Vorwärts. Panzer IV running about here. Very close. If you're going for the Panzer IV or the T-54, taking hits from light anti-tank gun. Good hit there though. Half the crew gone the blink. Night gun is first finishing off there. It's a Tiger tank moving up here. Oh, maybe one spot finds himself in a bit of prick position as the Titan moves on. This time he does not have anti-tank. Oh, watch, he to just ram it and deal with it. Making the situation thusly a lot worse than it was before. A-Mortar screeching out death from its massive tube. Target tank shot up in the machine gun. Back hits reinforcing healing for Artoria. Target tank there, very, very, very close to Vicinity 2. And the Schutzen. Target tank turning around its turret. 1 kill. 2 kills. Almost got the conscript there with the Tiger tank. We got 354 to 188. And the West, the Panther IV finally gets the Schutzen, but also on the fire from enemy anti-tank guns, forcing Artoria to pull it back to safety. Tiger tank is fixed up. Need to grab the MD-42 back in action. Back here, troop reinforcing healing. Artoria lining up for the next big push. Tiger tank almost good to go there. Once more to challenge the Soviets, the Red Army, Stalin. Concentrating out there, and there you go, hoorah move. Tiger tank shoots, does some light damage, but no kills. No casualties. Anti-tank grenade goes off, but I imagine he was expecting the anti-tank attack to penetrate the line for damaged engine, but sadly, things didn't quite go as old mate as planned, or at least hoped. Continues firing again. Assault continues up for the centre here by Artoria. Again, wants to get up some more armor support as Tiger tank as soon as possible. Get Austin to be great for the infantry and supporting weapons. Or you could, of course, go for Stuke to help deal with the T-34 and whatever else not. More rocket fire around the heavy armor here. The Tiger tank, in effect with the Pocket Tiger, as the two actually look reasonably still in silhouette, so it's actually not uncommon for Panther IVs with armored skirts to be mistaken for Tiger tanks by, shall say, less experienced infantry and armored crews. Little fun fact there, actually. Little fun fact. And so, for example, on the Western Front, during Normandy, you had a lot of reports of Tiger kills. In fact, many more than actually were Tigers. So, little fun note there. MD-40 with the conscript. We've got an HE5. Actually, heavy machine. We've got an HE5 on the way there for Old Mate finally. A tank destroyer. We've got 354. This is 263. Going for the centre victory point. Not a lot of action on the left side. Even Artoria needs to be careful not to forget that. Vassal galloping around behind me. Tiger tank advancing. Shots bouncing. Off its 100mm thick frontal armour. Non-slope though. Heavy Panzer got for Artoria. I'm not entirely sure the planning there. Maybe a Panzerwerfer. Though I'm not entirely sure that's what they want to go for. Like, Sturm Panzer, I think a great move, just recruiting the mortar. Or again, just going for more medium armor to back up the Tiger tank. I think it'd be just a lot better for Artoria. Tiger tank can hold back very far there. Seems like Artoria's a bit worried about getting discarded while repaired, and of course losing it to the anti-tank Overwatch again. Got the 85 tanks already here for Old Meat and the Red Army, the 25th Guards Mechanized Brigade. Panther IV sitting out here. Panther from the 3rd Panzer going for the conscripts. Ooh, could set up the Telemines actually. Maybe get a wipe. Hey, Mortar lands next to the Panther IV Maces. H5 goes in, there you go, shoots Maces. So does the Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. The center pioneers bring out east side. We've got the Tiger tank almost good to go there for Artoria Pendragon. H5 hanging back. Machine guns reinforcing, healing. Got, of course, those two MD-40s ready there for Artoria, but still got the mortar, they're doing little. And there you go, is in fact going for the Panzerwerfer. We'll have to see if it works out. Again, I just recommend more medium armor. At least something like a Sturm Panzer. Tiger tank is almost good to go. Old Mate's in the center, could also push for the eastern victory point, to be honest. And there you go, we got a choice on the left flank. Scam's going to send a mortar firing down here on Artoria's positions as he is trying to make his way here through the broken landscape to get to the center victory point. But Old Mate is pushing up stiff, putting up stiff resistance here. The machine guns, mortar fire, and anti-tank guns all laid in here. Making an attack from Artoria without smoke seems rather painful, if anything. And there you go, T-Film to here to defend the western field point. Panzer ready there for Artoria Pendragon and 3rd Panzer Division. Tiger tank sending out, shoots, misses. Pack 4 integrating in the target tank. At least threatening enough hit to push it back. We got 323 to 261. The fight continues. Both sides hamming at each other, relentlessly, remorselessly. Yeah. Panzerwerfer got some kills and some damage in there, but will it be enough? Still got the Haymotor there with 12 kills. Actually, 2 very good. Should use the badge a little bit more. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. Artoria lining up for a possible next push here. Target tank good to go. T-Fed force mobilizing alongside the issue 5. We got 318 with 261. Target tank holding back. There you go. Finally adding machine guns there. Finally adding the pinlock machine gun. Punies the meat on the fire from the T-34 6. 9 kills. On the west side here. Troops nearby being dispatched will deal with that. Got a response there by Old Mate. Looks like he's moving straight to the fuel pump on the east edge to try and put pressure on Artoria with that. T-54 there. Under fire from the target tank and a nearby Pack 40 pushing him back there. 4 kills. Slowly approaching Messenger 1 in the west Panther on fire here. 18 kills. Hiding out in the ravine / big ditch.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Disc is setting out. Pack 40 is going Deers, the Pack 40 is obviously losing out, attacking any serious anti-infantry covered villages there. Pack 40 setting up, Panther setting up against the conscripts. Another push by Artoria, another offensive. The gunnies being slashed into bits here by the Haymotor. 13 kills, 22 in there, going to tank grenade, possibly attempt it, but doesn't pay off at all. Katyusha farming right down the center, gets support weapons. Pack crew slaughtered as the rockets scream out into them. In the center here, we got 2 MP4s laying out hayfire, and then the troops east side of the T-54 could defend the flanks are being used to cut mines. Panzerwerfer taking hits, they need to get out of there. Machine gun left behind, the grenades got wiped out. Heavy losses, heavy damage to Artoria. Possibly an opportunity for Old Mate Tank to make a push versus Artoria now that Artoria's center is actually weakened by that catastrophic Katyusha rocket barrage. Will Artoria be able to resist this? And will Old Mate, of course, be able to take advantage of this? T-54 being held back for repairs. We got 295, 251. Panther being repaired. Priority there for Artoria. Obviously very reliant on the Panzerwerfer rockets really only work there. Let's bring up here and fire from the Dishka. We got 7 kills close to actually 3. The machine gun backing up. He could pop Incendiary armor piercing rounds. Bit of a shot there by Artoria. I don't think I've ever seen him once used the Incendiary armor piercing rounds, but this is a really good ability. There you go. Panther fires once more. Panther on the way. There you go. Heavy machine gun team there routed. As the world around them explodes, leaving only 2 men alive to actually make the retreat. Well, 1 man alive to make the retreat. Old Mate could go for more T-Fed force here, to be honest. Gunnies in the west. Flamethrowers up close should be in win here, I think, for Old Mate's conscripts. Gunnies simply have no chance against that. You got turn 60 to turn 51. Better maneuvering here. Conscripts President 42. Mortify the range down and he's close to wiping out the MG42 team there. Not great news there for Artoria's machine gun crew. They fought valiantly, but they may soon find themselves, well, less than valiantly dealt with. Conscripts MG42 here flanking out nicely. Target tank holding back in the east, bit on its own, bit of a mistake I feel like by Artoria possibly. So now we got another intertank which ready. Panther on the west, the conscript there going flanked by the Pack 40. Artoria's lines actually very thin and spread out and opening up here for a possible strong counterattack here. But there you go, T-54 catches the target tank. Puts here ram and anti-tank ultimate combined with the tank destroyer here, but the tank destroyer having a very base in the west here. Almost got the Panther 4. That's going to be quite a blow there, Artoria. Pendragon, quite the blow. They do have another Panther 4 out. He's now routing them to the front line. Meanwhile, that Panther 4 is going to be toast. That, of course, is the veteran one. Halfway to the ace level, in fact. Not great stuff. And there you go. The Panther 4 explodes. And we got anti-tank air support there from Artoria. Just do a close air support. Tiger Tank might be going for deep flank into Old Mate's lines, but for that might be actually getting a bit risky there. But of course, there's still anti-tank Overwatch. Seems like Artoria might be getting a bit desperate, perhaps realizing they might have made a mistake early on. And there you go. T-Fit for ramming it. And it hits a mine. It's barely operable. He doesn't even need anti-tank Overwatch. Might like to use it as the Panther 4 there, to be honest. And she found the hot pursuit here. There you go. Tiger Tank knocked out. A huge blow to Artoria. A huge blow there. Second Tiger Tank kaput. And the Panther 4 this also in deep scheiße. As Old Mate shows no mercy, no response. There you go. Artoria realizes the fight is over. Pops out. So GG. Game over. Win there for Old Mate. A loss by Pendragon. Some nice use of defensive doctrine there. Some nice use of maneuvering. Nice use of ability there by Old Mate or Roach. 2 thumbs up there. Artoria Pendragon, I think, had a nice early game, but mid game to late game kind of struggled out there. I think focused too much on the Tiger Tank and also exposed at times here. Plus could have done with some Pentagon leads, I think, to really push here versus Old Mate at times. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this matchup. Learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, but don't tell enemies. This is Impel Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.